Hello, I'm Mairead Malloy, Global Director of Berkeley International and Relationship Strategist.
And I'm Cosmo Landesman, Cultural Commentator for The Times and The Spectator magazine in London.
And we're delighted today to present a fantastic lady called Agata Igras.
Tell me about her.
Professor of flute at the Chopin University in Warsaw.
A professor of flute? Mm-hmm. I want to hear about that.
I know, it's cool, isn't it? Also, she plays music from her heart, mostly her lips, I guess, right? And recently, she's just launched her own office. She's the CEO of Berkeley International Poland. So a perfect blend of hearts. Music from the heart, playing the flute.
And finding hearts for other people. Agatha, tell me, how were you attracted to the flute? What drew you to the flute to begin with?
Oh, to be true, it was a total coincidence. I was, I think, 8 years old, spending my summer holidays with my parents in Istanbul. Mm-hmm. And there, in the middle of the city, there was a huge screen on which I believe it was the first ever fusion video of classical music and disco music was on. Okay. And the Dutch flautist called Berdian Stemberg was performing a very, very famous melody from Mercadante Flute Concerto, accompanied by a disco background and some disco dancers. So once I saw it, that was it. It was pure love. Really, with the instrument.
Amazing. Now, I've understood that historically the flute was at one time considered a very forbidden instrument.
For women.
It was.
For women. Tell us about that.
It was. I mean, the flute is one of the oldest instruments, first of all. So together with the drums, really. So the rhythm and the melody were first, and flute was the oldest one, completely forbidden and reserved.
Why was it forbidden? Tell us that.
Because of the thoughts that were combined with it.
You mean the flute?
The shape of the flute
evoked certain thoughts of men for some reason.
Exactly, it
Can't
did.
imagine why. Can you?
I cannot really. I don't understand.
What is this?
So,
oh no, it's not yet.
Was the flute considered, how we say, a phallic instrument?
It was just considered forbidden for women and really reserved, especially in the ancient Greece, only for the prostitutes.
So when did it really?
It was.
It
is written in the books.
Prostitutes.
Sorry?
So it was an instrument only played by prostitutes?
Yes, it was, or by men, but it was
why would a
not
prostitute
allowed.
play a flute?
It was still beautiful. I mean, the sound.
No, but only prostitutes could play it.
Imagine, flute is a magical instrument.
Okay, I get that.
We'll get that later after the show.
Okay, we'll come back.
Can we get back to our guest, for God's sakes? Yes. So.
But a lot has changed in the history since then, really.
So at what point was a woman allowed to play a flute? When did that come into action?
I mean, it was the 20th century, really.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, really. And still it is until today, the best players are still men, also considering their physical abilities and the easiness of breathing, which is reserved for men and not for women that much. But nowadays, it's much more considered to be a very female instrument, very delicate.
Why is that? Because of the delicacy of breath and
it's the
technique?
Sound. I believe it is the sound. I mean, since always, flute was considered to be like the angel instrument. Everybody loves the sound of the flute. And if you watch the movies, whenever you hear the flute, the melody being played by the flute, it's either love theme or a death theme.
Okay, I've got a really important question.
I had a better question.
Well, you keep yours there. I'm going to ask this because I think our viewers.
We can't get a word in.
Could you be quiet for a second?
I'm so sorry.
I think our viewers would be a very important thing to clear up. Now, whenever anyone mimes the flute, they either go this way or they go
which is the right
what is the correct way?
That was my question, by the way.
Oh, no, that was my question originally. God, I can't take this woman anyway.
Okay, anyway, it is to the right.
It's to the right.
But your hands... No, it's not like this. One hand... No, exactly. The left hand faces your face.
Yes.
Yes, and the right hand to the audience. No, you have to...
Viewers,
you have to turn your hand, the right hand. You have to turn your hand. Look at me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break here, shall we? Because
this will take forever. Let's move on. Let's move on.
No, can I ask a question now?
You have my permission.
So the love of the flute. So what inspired you then to sort of consider going into the introduction agency business?
Well, love is the theme, of course, that connects the two, but I believe that loneliness is nowadays, unfortunately, almost a sickness of the 21st century. That's what I see among my peers and not only. And I really strongly believe that without professional help, some people will never be able to find a true partner on their side and not just meet many people via internet and bump into completely wrong choices. So
it must be a very daunting task to introduce A and B. How can we go about it? You know something about this, don't you?
You're giving me some credit for something that I do?
Don't you have a little sort of dating agency?
Are you interviewing me now?
I just like to go, how do you put A and B together?
You know, there's actually no science to it.
I think so.
It's psychology, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, but do you
have love logarithms? Is what I'm asking.
Not at all.
Is there a love logarithm?
Yeah, we have a binary code.
You have a binary code?
No. You know what? It's very simple. You work on your instinct. You meet someone. Say I meet you, for example. Well, I don't know. Are you dateable?
You give up on me.
I don't know. Is he dateable, Agata?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you take him as a client?
I would, definitely.
It's very simple. You just find that something in someone, even a weak point that shows their vulnerability, and you find that, and then you hold on to that, and then as you start to run your business or to meet your clients, you'll think, actually, you know what? He's good for her. It's all about your heart.
Women don't want vulnerable men.
No, I'm saying I never said that.
I never get what?
You're so not vulnerable. I didn't say that you look for vulnerability.
You just said vulnerable.
You find a vulnerable spot or a weakness or just something in that person that's of what they're seeking. It's not vulnerability. It's just you try to find just the little something in them where you say, actually, you know what? She's right about the loneliness. You find that one thing that's missing out in their jigsaw, and you try to pinpoint that. That's what I mean. And when you find that, then you hold on to that about that client, and it's always something quite sensitive, actually. And then you match based on that. That's my opinion.
Have you ever matchmake a friend of yours with someone else? Because whenever my friends try to matchmake me, it's always a disaster.
Really? Maybe they just...
we know why.
I realize that person doesn't know me. Have you ever fixed up one of your girlfriends with a guy and it's actually worked?
I have. And I believe it's just about listening also. You have to be very empathic,
I got a
right?
question for you.
Yes, please.
Who would you, based on the love of the flute and the love of love and your new office, what kind of a lady would you put with Cosmo?
She would need to love life, people, travel, good food.
What about
and
very
insanity?
sensitive? No, but what about the madness and the disorganization and the trouble that he has with himself?
She'll just
grin and bear it.
I love you, really.
Anyway, we're not here to discuss my love life.
No.
This is a very exciting adventure you're having. What are you going to do? Are you thinking longer term? I mean, are you going to keep playing the flute as well as doing this?
I would
what are
love
the plans?
to. I mean, my music is, and it will be for sure, a very important part of my life, but it still doesn't take the whole day of mine. So if you're well organized, you can combine the two, as teaching is not really a full-time job taking 8 hours of your day. And I do believe I can be very passionate about Berkeley now, because I feel that it's really a very future business.
I have a good question for you.
Yes.
If I was out on a date and I was trying to woo a woman and we were having soft candlelights and we were having what is the perfect flute music I should play?
Oh, yeah.
Why flute music?
Okay, well, what music, anything?
What's the most romantic sort of...
I think everybody likes smooth jazz, right? This is something that just makes everybody feel comfortable, and
I was thinking a bit of Justin Bieber myself.
No, Justin Bieber, never. Me, no. And not flute music. It's a little bit too sad, I think, still.
Really?
No, yeah, boring.
I thought it was the sound of angels.
It is, but it is for the whole.
For you.
Okay, just maybe two pieces mixed well in between something else. Or if you want to have...
Some flute disco?
No, but Latin flute is good, but Latin doesn't fit really a candlelight date, does it?
Okay.
It doesn't, no.
I think we've covered all the bases.
I can just see the date.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the music and the flute and the whole thing.
I could do it.
You could?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go.
Personally, I'd be in a glass of red wine, a bit
You'd
of
pay to see that,
Justin Bieber,
okay,
and a bit of that's what I want.
I'm not going on a date with you if you're playing Justin Bieber.
I'm not. Okay.
That's enough about us.
Agata, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Thank you.
I am Marie Malloy. This is Cosmo Landsman. Thank you for watching.